My name is Crystal Rowland Anderson, and I live in San Diego, California. I'm originally from St. Louis, and I've been working with the Pujols Family Foundation since 2013. I think working one-on-one with the individuals with Down syndrome, it was really an education. I mean, I think you don't know, right? How do you interact? But just having those relationships and having the opportunity to get to know them on a really personal level and what they did for jobs and where they lived and what they loved really helped kind of break down that barrier and help me understand they're just like us. My husband and I met in San Diego. We actually met through an online dating website. We got married in 2015 on the anniversary of our first date. And 2017, we had our son, Luke. So we knew that we wanted to have more children after Luke, and it definitely took us longer than we thought it would. That was a hard emotional process to go through, but really just putting it into God's hands, I think took a lot of weight off of our shoulders and just coming to that realization that whatever his plan, we were going to go with. And it's funny because right after we came to that conclusion, I think I found out that I was pregnant again. And just like with Luke, we were excited to do our NIPT test to find out if it was a boy or a girl. I think about a week later, I was driving and I got a call from my doctor. So I pulled over and she said, well, your NIPT test came back and it came back positive for Down syndrome. And I said, okay. And she must have asked me, do you know what that means? Or do you know what that is? Because I remember saying, well, I've worked with individuals with Down syndrome for the last, 7 years. Yes, I know what that means. We were about to get off the phone with her and she was wrapping up. And I said, well, is it a boy or a girl? That's the whole reason we did this test. And she said, oh, let me look. And so she looked and she said, okay, it's a boy. My husband came home from work and he had been to our events with the Pujols Family Foundation and he'd volunteered as well, but I don't think he had the same relationships that I had. And so he had a lot of the questions that I think a lot of parents have early on of how is this going to affect our other children? How is it going to affect Luke? And I thought and told him, I said, this is going to be fantastic for Luke. I said, I know all these siblings of people with Down syndrome, and it's been shown in Harvard studies and all of these, university studies that people who are siblings of individuals with special needs are more empathetic. They're more caring. They have a different, I think, understanding and outlook on life.
Oh, I love you, baby Thomas.
I had to be scheduled for a C-section with Thomas. He came out perfect, crying, beautiful. It was just very emotional, again, to see, what God had given us and to bring life into the world. It's life-changing. The fact that God put me in that place at that time and on that path for so long to have those relationships and that knowledge and that foundation before I got here. And you think, well, how could that have been? Well, there's only one way. It's God's way. There's nothing else out there that is as positive, as uplifting, and like I said, community building as the Pujols Family Foundation. This is an organization that doesn't just talk the talk, and that's because it was started by two people who know what it's like to go through these things. To have all of those resources right at my fingertips when we got that call and we got that news, it's invaluable. Because if it wasn't here, not only for myself, but for thousands of families of people with Down syndrome, I don't know what they would have replaced it with. When you're part of it, you're family.